I'll be going over the plant forum this month, and those of you that contributed, thank you so much. And if you're interested in contributing, this is a feature. Laura mentioned that when we have our meetings online, like this one, then we'd love you to send your plant forum contributions in, your photographs, and there's all the information you need online at socalhort.org with a little form that you can fill out. But please don't be intimidated, because if you don't know the answer to all of those things, we'll help you look them up or fill them in for you, including the name of the plant if you don't know what it is. So this is a place to showcase things from your own garden or things that you see that are just extraordinary this time of year, and to share that with other members of the society and other people that are interested in plants. So let's go to the first slide, Alexis. Sandy Masuo sent this in. Excuse me, my nose is itchy. That means you're going to kiss a fool, I was told once. It's a sedum hintonii, which unfortunately, Sandy said that she bought this at a cactus and succulent show or sale many years ago and has not seen it very often. And I was checking online and I could not find much availability for it either, but I would definitely do what Sandy does, which is go to Cactus and Succulent Society shows and sales. Some of the best ones in the country are at the Arboretum and the Huntington. So just it's a really pretty little thing with fuzzy leaves and lovely white flowers, perfect for a small container. And she's growing it in her front yard in Pasadena. It does need fast draining soil. And because of the fuzzy leaves and the need for good drainage, it is susceptible to rot. So make sure that if we have our really heavy rain winters, that you take this one and put it under the eaves of the house or something. Let's go to the next slide, Alexis. This is another one from Sandy. This is Ceratizamia mexicana, also possibly C. aurantiaca, with a very cute common name of Mexican horn cone. So this is a cycad that Sandy has noted. She's gotten a large terracotta pot, which is a great place to grow your cycads. And this one seems happier with some shade, as it is a forest understory plant, and especially inland. If you're along the coast, you might be able to get away with full sun, but if you have a hot summer, it might get sunburned. But Sandy notes that cycads are plants that are dioecious. They have pollen and ovules, are produced on separate individual plants. And so it took 10 years for this one to cone, and for her to have the gender reveal, and she found out that it's a boy. So you're looking at Sandy's boy. It's not a super common plant, but can be seen at some nurseries, and this one was a gift. But if you love cycads, this is an interesting, not as common one for you to grow. Next, please. This is a nice one. This is Sansevieria francisii, also known as a snake plant. What was fun was I was researching this, snake plants are Sansevierias. Most people know the flat-leafed ones. This is one of the cylindrical leaf ones that has a very sharp thorn on the end, a real pokey barb. And so I was researching this, and there's actually a cultivar of this called Sansevieria francisii, ouch, which I thought was a really wonderful and descriptive name. Like most Sansevierias, it's pretty easy to grow. Be careful not to overwater. If you are inland, you might want to put it in the shade or just morning sun so it doesn't get sunburned. They really are quite drought tolerant. When they do flower, they have incredibly wonderful, fragrant flowers, and they're very pretty. This is a really neat one, kind of twisting itself around in the pot. She bought it at a plant sale. Someone was selling cuttings from their enormous plant. So I don't think it's that common. I looked, and it shows up at plant sales, so that's where I would look for it. Next, please, Alexis. And then another one from Sandy. This is Lepichinia fragrans. And people that knew me when I was working at Theodore Payne and doing the Hollywood Farmers Market knew that they should not stick any of these plants in the van, which I was driving, because I think I'm the only one on the planet that doesn't like the smell of this plant. Everybody else loves the fragrance of the foliage, and you probably will too. It is a pretty large shrub that gets up to about 5 feet or so. And Sandy notes that it's growing in a few locations at the Huntington, notably the stroll path. And she remarks also that it's a big plant, so she's enjoying it at work instead. It grows very quickly, it's true, in full, especially along the coast or part sun. It actually is a sage relative that can take some shade. It's a wonderful plant for shade if you're looking for one. And it's adaptable to many soils, needs little watering once established, and it must be pruned to shape, but don't prune it into over prune older woody growth, or you're going to have a dieback on that. It's fairly widely available at regular nurseries and at native plant nurseries, including Theodore Payne. Next, Alexis. Oh my goodness, we've just seen this plant. So we decided to leave both of these slides in. Rebecca Lotta also submitted Lepichinia fragrans. It's a very popular plant, and you will like the scent of it. It's an evergreen flowering shrub that she has growing to about 3 to 4 feet tall. I've seen them get a little bit bigger. Flowers March through May, long flowering time. Native to chaparral and dry ravines in California and go into Baja, I'm not sure. Grown in native gardens with some sun protection inland, as I said. As I'm going to reiterate because it's important, and Becky mentioned it also, minimize pruning on older woody growth. It attracts hummingbirds, moths, and butterflies, but its primary pollinator is bumblebees. So get ready for a little habitat garden in the plant. If you want, you can grow it in a container. Just know that you have to water it more often in a container than you would in the ground. Next, please. This is amazing, and I was explaining to Alexis that is almost the true color of the flower. It's a little bilious, but it's actually a really cobalty, gentian-y blue with a little bit more red in it. It's really gorgeous. You lost my sound. Is my sound back?
Yeah, you're sounding.
Well, that's my funky signal. Is my sound back? Okay. So this is one of the most beautiful of our California native wildflowers. It's a low-growing annual, endemic, that is limited to the Mojave and Sonoran deserts in California. And it is just a winner. You want to start this from seed in the late autumn. Oh, I'm sorry about this sound situation, but I'm going to keep talking as if you can hear me, because I can't tell when you can and not. Oh no, what shall we do, Alexis? Oh, now they can hear. Well, some people are hearing and some are not, and I think it's just because it's cutting out. So I will continue. I apologize. Where was I? Flowering annual, sow them from seed in fall or early winter. That was the thing I wanted to mention. That's very important. If you buy plants now, you'll get a couple of flowers, but the best time to do it is to plant from seed in the fall or early winter. Full sun is okay, especially along the coast, and light shade if you are inland, and very good drainage. As Sandy says, it plays well with other wildflowers. Next, please. The fortunate thing is that for those of you that cannot hear, you can always read the slide. And Laura, I'm reading, yeah, we're apologizing to everyone for the sound problem. So this is a new one to me. It's Pelargonium ionidiflorum. I didn't have the time to look up what ionida means. I suspect it may have something to do with celery. This is being sold by San Marcos, and I suspect not John Greenlee, excuse me, take that back. John Schustra at Greenwood Daylily as fairy cascades geranium, but the Royal Horticultural Society is calling it celery scented geranium. So I look forward to that lovely scent. It's one of the pelargoniums from South Africa, where they're all native too. April had written that got 3 inches tall, and I just noticed, Alexis, I think you've got it at 12 to 18 feet tall on this slide. The clarification is it should be, according to San Marcos, 12 to 18 inches tall. This is not a tree or a very large shrub. Let's see. But so much color on an awesome small plant, no matter how big it gets. Alexis has, April has written that it's available at fine nurseries. She said it's really short in her garden. I'm glad you responded. So maybe it just hasn't grown enough yet, or who knows. Anyway, so next slide. It is Greek and it means violet. Thank you, the Ionid. Thank you very much. Okay, so the next, so it's the next slide. All right, so this is a fun one. This is a hippeastrum, formerly called amaryllis, a long time ago. And this is an introduction, a cultivar called evergreen. April likes odd colored flowers, as we all do. And she has a lot of them in her garden. This is one, it's a bulb, and it gets about 12 inches tall and flowers in the spring. She's got it in a pot in part shade, easy to grow, as are all of these hippeastrums. And the green flowers are cool. I could not find a good source for it. And again, you might want to check places like the Huntington, or just keep looking around, and bulb growers might have it at some point. Next, please. Okay, another cool plant. So this is actually Monrovia is the wholesale source for this, and April bought hers at H&H Nursery in Lakewood, but on the Monrovia site it says it's also available at one of the Armstrongs and one of the Green Arrows. So I would suspect most, if not all of them, are carrying it. This is a very beautifully colored kangaroo paw. This one's called Blue Kangaroo Paw. I don't know why. And the series is called Celebrations, and this one is called Masquerade. The kangaroo paws are all from Australia. They look like little kangaroo feet, as you can tell. They need good drainage, full to partial sun, especially inland. And they're touted as being more drought tolerant, as they really are. If you're along the coast, they're somewhat drought tolerant. But if you are in Burbank or the San Fernando Valley, San Gabriel Valley, I would say that it's probably going to want moderate water. Make sure you have good drainage or you're going to lose it. This is April's line. That blue is Crazy Town. And it is a great cut flower, as are all of the kangaroo paws. And you should be able to find this fairly easily. And did you say it's growing in Burbank? I don't know whether it's in the ground or in a pot. If you have really heavy clay soil, you want to try it in a pot. And do we have any more? No. So please submit your plants. The more the merrier. We like plants from all over the Southern California Horticultural Society's region. I learned some new plants on this one. I hope you did too. So, and that's what this is all about, is sharing. And now I'm going to throw it back and over to Carol Bornstein, who is with our program committee, and she's going to introduce our speakers.
Thank you, Lili.